Modern economies depend on spending. Not occasionally, constantly. People buying products, upgrading services, replacing devices, ordering convenience, financing purchases, and consuming more over time is not just encouraged by the system. It is necessary for the system to keep expanding. And once you understand that, many parts of modern life start making more sense. This is Capital Clarity, a channel where we explain how money works clearly, simply, honestly. Most people think spending is purely personal, a private decision based on one's needs and self-control. But in reality, spending behavior is heavily shaped by the environment surrounding it. Advertising, technology, credit systems, subscriptions, social pressure, convenience culture. All of these structures are designed to reduce friction between desire and purchase. The easier spending becomes, the more frequently it happens. And modern economies are built around maintaining that cycle. Economic growth depends heavily on consumption. When people spend money, businesses earn revenue. Businesses hire workers, expand operations, invest in growth, and generate profits. Governments collect taxes from economic activity. Financial systems grow through lending and transactions. Spending keeps money moving. And because of that, the system naturally rewards environments where consumption increases continuously over time. This does not require conspiracy or coordination. It is simply how growth-based economies function. One of the biggest changes in modern financial systems is the removal of spending friction. Years ago, buying something required more effort. People carried physical cash, visited stores, compared prices more slowly, and waited longer before making purchases. Today, spending is nearly instant. One click, one tap, one swipe. The delay between wanting something and purchasing it has almost disappeared. And psychologically, that matters. Because friction creates awareness. Removing friction increases impulsive behavior. Credit plays a major role in sustaining spending. Without credit, purchases are limited by current income and available cash. With credit, future income becomes spendable immediately. This changes consumption patterns dramatically. People can buy now and pay later. Businesses can increase sales immediately. Financial institutions profit from lending and interest. And economies experience faster short-term activity. But increased access to spending also increases dependency on debt-based consumption. Advertising is not only about informing people that products exist. Its deeper purpose is psychological influence. Modern advertising constantly creates dissatisfaction with what people already have. It encourages comparison, urgency, status-seeking, and emotional association with products. You are not simply sold an object. You are sold an improved identity, a better lifestyle, more comfort, more convenience, more success. This matters because emotional motivation increases spending far more effectively than rational evaluation. Technology platforms are also deeply connected to spending behavior. Modern apps, social media platforms, and digital services compete aggressively for attention because attention eventually converts into consumption. The longer people remain engaged, the more opportunities exist to influence behavior, display advertising, encourage purchases, or collect data that improves targeting. This creates environments specifically optimized to increase engagement and reduce resistance to spending. The system does not only want your money, it wants your attention first. Another major shift is the rise of subscription-based consumption. Instead of occasional purchases, spending becomes continuous and automatic. Entertainment, software, convenience services, memberships, food delivery, cloud storage. Recurring payments transform consumption into a permanent background process. And because each payment feels relatively small, the total financial impact often remains psychologically invisible. Over time, high levels of spending become normalized. Constant upgrades feel normal. Replacing functioning products feels normal. Paying for convenience feels normal. This normalization changes financial expectations across society. What once felt optional begins feeling necessary. And when lifestyles adapt upward continuously, financial pressure grows quietly in the background. Many people blame themselves entirely for overspending, but self-control exists inside environments specifically designed to weaken it. Notifications create urgency. Algorithms personalize temptation. Advertising targets emotional vulnerabilities. Payment systems reduce psychological resistance. This does not remove personal responsibility, but it explains why spending often feels automatic instead of deliberate. The environment matters. The system benefits when consumption continues increasing. Businesses want higher revenue. Investors want growth. Markets reward expansion. Governments prefer strong economic activity. This creates constant pressure toward higher levels of spending and consumption throughout the economy. Slower consumption often creates economic slowdown. Higher consumption fuels expansion. For individuals, this environment creates constant financial pressure. People are encouraged to spend faster than they build stability. Short-term comfort is prioritized over long-term security. Convenience is prioritized over ownership. Immediate satisfaction is prioritized over delayed benefit. And over time, this weakens savings, increases dependency on income, and reduces financial flexibility. Spending itself is not bad. Consumption is part of normal life and economic activity. The real issue is unconscious consumption. Spending without awareness. Spending automatically. Spending emotionally. Spending because the environment constantly pushes behavior in that direction. Understanding the system does not require rejecting modern life. It requires becoming more intentional inside it. Once you recognize how strongly the environment influences spending behavior, financial decisions start feeling different. You begin noticing friction removal, emotional marketing, convenience traps, subscription accumulation, impulse triggers. And this awareness changes behavior naturally because unconscious systems lose power once they become visible. The system does not need to force people to spend. It only needs to make spending easy, emotional, automatic, and constant. And modern economies have become extremely effective at doing exactly that. The less consciously you spend, the more valuable you become to the system.